has been inspired by the Queen of Down syndrome. We have set up a space based on what I wish I knew when she was younger. And if you guys have been following me the past 2 weeks and moving on in the future, we have been tracking Princess P's journey. So one of the things that I have learned that I wish I knew is we have tons of toys. You don't see it, but if you follow the Queen on Instagram, you'll see her toys. And if you follow like the little shorts, you'll see the toys that she reviews and stuff. So much fun. But anyway, putting them all out at once, which we did when the Queen was younger, just led to two things: huge mess, chaos, basically. And the learning kind of slowed down because what do we take out? What do we learn? So to change it, we put up this beautiful piece of furniture. It's kind of in two parts. I'm going to go over it with you today because this is the first, and then we're going to focus on three main areas. So the top part of the furniture, as you could see, it's just the things that are awkward shapes. So these are going to stay here forever or until Princess P grows out of it. And you have her dressing boards, you have puzzles, just anything that doesn't fit on the shelf. Someone gifted her these giant coloring books. Again, anything that just fits awkwardly right over here. But the most important thing that I want to focus on, and something that I wish I knew, is down here is we have two levels of shelves. They're all cubes. We're going to take everything out so you guys could see. And this shelf over here. So back to the journal pages. If you guys have been following us, you'll see how does Princess P reach her goals. And basically, I set up 3 shelves. Every therapist who comes to the house knows these are the first things you're going to focus on if it fits your therapy. OT, PT, speech, they all know this is priority. I go through the pages, and once a week, I'll actually take a skill out and switch it so it's not boring for me, it's not boring for the caregiver, and Princess P has something new and targeted for her work. The next shelves, which is a set of 4, same thing. These are skills, and like I said, we're going to show you individually, are skills that Princess P can do by herself. They are skill-based, they are fun, and I switch out one at a time. So again, we have one toy in, one toy out, so there's always something new. And the bottom shelf is actually the Queen of Down syndrome controls. She puts in one toy and we take out another one, and I just request the same thing, that it is a fun toy. It could be educational, it could be fun, it really depends on, I guess, her mood or my mood, but it is something that Princess P can do by herself and have fun with. So without further ado, we are going to start off with the bottom 2 shelves, and then we'll get to the top, and I'll share with you how it works for our tracker. And like I said, we have very many toys, so I just kind of stored toys that didn't fit on the other shelves here and on top. But for the most part, she's very happy with these, and if she ever requests it, of course we say yes. So the first toy on the Queen of Down syndrome's choice is
this toy.
What is it?
It's a brick toy that has a shape. So over here, like this special shape. Which like likes to pound on it. Like take in and out. You get to pound on it and stuff. Yeah.
Thank you. The first toy that I put out, this one is Princess P's all-time favorite toy. This was actually a gift, and it's these simple flower building toys, and like I said, it's fun, and this happens to also have the skill of fine motor skills. She is obsessed with her colors, so she's always taking one out and signing it. And my favorite part of this toy is that I can close it and put it away, and it really doesn't make that much of a mess.
That's also my favorite toy.
Oh, win for both of them.
Yeah, that is also my favorite toy. You guys got to learn how to cut her fruits. Like this. You're going to become a little knife where you get to cut your fruit. Yeah, I have a cutting board. I have this. Another one.
Yeah, this one is too hard. Princess P actually doesn't really use the knife. I also find it hard, but it's a great, toy to kind of work on the fine motor skills, break it apart. She can match by color, she can match by fruit, but I agree with you. This is a great toy. Another toy, like I mentioned, Princess P is obsessed with colors lately, so I love this one. This is a Montessori toy, and she loves just taking up, off the rings. She's getting better at matching the colors, but she just kind of likes to do her own thing. And then at night, I would just come and reset it. So she always starts off with it in the right space. And just because I had this beautiful tray, I just kept it.
Yeah, I hate when it's yellow.
You got a lot of favorites here.
Yeah, and this kind of Princess P also like this toy, and we see a little bit. We get to get the little tissues! Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And something that I put out, this is the hedgehog. This is by Learning Resources. This is one of my favorite because right now we just take them out, put them back. It does store in the cover, but Princess P, like I said, this is meant for her to play by herself. She wouldn't understand to open and close, so while it's on the shelf, I keep it displayed like this. And as she grows, she can actually start matching the colors, but we're not ready for that. There's patterning, and there are numbers here that she can count, put in 1, put in 2. So this is kind of something fun. By the way, anything that's still available, like sold on Amazon and stuff, we're going to link below. So feel free to check it out if there's something that spikes you or your little one's imagination.
My favorite dress, my Princess P's favorite toy is this toy.
Yes, Princess P is really liking that toy lately.
Yeah, so it opens over here and then it collects storage. Sometimes when she takes these out, she actually finds the colors. And I also know ASL by feature. Sometimes they like put it in here and get them match. Sometimes she mismatches it, but it's okay.
Yep, and the last toy that I have on this shelf is this one. And it's very basic. If you saw my video on shapes, this is one of our favorites. It is sushi themed, which is something that is fun. And as you can tell, it's a simple shape sorter. I like how the shapes do repeat. So it has like 6 shapes, so she's not over the toy fast, but at the same time, it's nothing new. And something new that we're working on, just a sneak peek into her OT skills, is to actually trace the shapes. So this one allows her to trace the different shapes as she's playing. And of course, I personally love this material. She can chew it, and she likes putting things in her mouth. So this is an added bonus. And like I said, all the links are down below. So these are the toys that she more or less has access to all the time. And like I said, I do work with her once to twice a day. We call them learning cycles. So can you please get down one tray at a time, and I'll kind of talk to you guys in depth how I present it and the skills that Princess P is learning. So the first one in the Montessori environment, this is very basic. It's these 2 little glass bowls. I am trying, not so successfully, to have her spoon these little pom-poms back and forth. She doesn't like eating, so I'm not sure if she actually likes the spoon part. But so I'll just demonstrate it. And fun fact, I've actually noticed at mealtime, I always present her food. I present her a fork and a spoon. And I actually have noticed, even though she's not really good at this activity, I've noticed that her spooning, she's like actually taking an interest in holding a spoon. Now, I don't know if it's because of this activity is not food related, fun and safe, but that's just a fun fact to note. So again, fine motor is spooning back and forth, and she can take her fingers and put it back and forth. I found these little glass bowls, highly recommend it. These are like gorgeous for the Montessori kind of prepared space. So that's that one. What is the next one on the shelf? Okay, so the next one, this is what we're working on, actually a few skills, because when I prepare the space, I'm only really doing 3 things at a time. So I would like to prepare it as functional as possible and mix as many skills together. So I have these. This is a set of shapes. As you can see, this is the circle. And the goal that we're working with her is, can she trace a circle? So before I actually do the activity, I'll model tracing circle, and then I'll have her trace circle. And that is one skill. Another skill I'm working with her on is, just plain old listening. So I'll put out 3 of these that she knows, and I'll be like, hey, can you pass the tire? And she'll get the tire, she'll pass it to me, we'll trace the circle. So we're listening, we're following instructions, we're tracing the circle, and then we're putting it in. And I'll do only 3 because she's only 2.5, and she has 1p36 chromosome deletion syndrome. So taking all that in mind, right now we're up to 3. So again, name the object, trace it with your finger, and put it in the bigger circle. And then when she's done, she just loves, like any kid, dumping things out and putting it back together again. So this activity, I actually just put that on the shelf for this week, is one of her favorite. And the last activity, and this one is one of my favorites, and I'm really sorry to see it go so soon, but hey, we rotate it. This one, I just had a bunch of random stones lying around. They're all different sizes, so they're not like particularly from anything per se. And what I do is that I found an ice cube tray, and I put the pile of stones available, and all she has to do is put the stones in. Right now, I don't care if she skips some, you know, to me it's not about going in order, but here's what she's doing. She is a lefty, so first she's doing her most dominant side, which is totally cool. Then what I'm noticing is she's tracking and crossing midline. How cool is that, tracking? So we're actually working on pre-reading skills along with finger isolation. Now because these stones are small, she's also using her 3-finger grasp. So that's another skill we're working into this one activity. And of course she loves her colors, so we got colors and just so many skills. And here at this point she now has to work on scanning which one is empty. So this one activity, literally everything I found at home, thank you so much, which is an ice cube tray and stones, and we have a boatload of skills just worked into this. If there's anything that you want to see a specific demonstration on, feel free to let me know. I have no problem, just like, hey, this is a skill we're covering and here's how we go about, or 5 toys that work for the skill. You let me know. This space is really based off of what I learned. The Queen of Down syndrome is 19. I know, I can't believe it. I've gathered a boatload of information over the last 19 years, and I want to share it with you guys. So if there's anything that you want to see, let me know, because your little ones are amazing, and let's make an amazing space together. Thank you guys so much for stopping by.